can we bring the social back to social media? Because I feel like social media needs to be called something else, because it's definitely not social anymore. And maybe it never was. Maybe I'm just from a different generation that doesn't understand, all right? Because I was Gen X, so I was born in the 70s, raised in the 80s. I was of the generation where we actually went out on our bikes and used our imagination, and we loved to play. We were outside until the street lights came on. When the phone rang in the hallway, me and my sister would fight each other to see who was going to get it first, because we actually wanted to talk to whoever was on the other line, right? Now we have a phone in our hand and nobody actually picks it up because they don't want to talk to nobody, right? So social media was never my thing until 2020. When my son came over during the pandemic and he challenged me, and I never wanted to back down from a challenge, he said, because I thought it was stupid that he was spending so much time on TikTok. So he challenged me to make a video, and I thought it was going to be one and done. And I was pleasantly surprised when I actually started looking at it for the first time and realized that there was other people like me on this app. I was like, oh my God, okay, like there's some other people that are my age. I was enjoying watching people doing the stitches and the duets. I met some really good people on this app. I met my best friend on this app. Me and her hang out all the time. I met Michelle on this app too. I'm going to her house next weekend. That's what I meant by social media. There's people who have met their spouses on this app. Remember when we used to do TikTok meet and greets and everybody would go together and it was a big TikTok meetup and we'd do videos together? That's what I mean by social. And I understand, I'm not stupid, that apps are going to ebb and flow. Apps are going to change. And I think when this app changed is when it became monetized. Now, before you come at me, I don't think there's anything wrong with people getting paid for the content that they put on a social media app. Because let's be real, these are billionaire companies, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and they're making a lot of money. So I do believe that people who put content on their apps that make them the money should get a portion of it. So let's just get that. But where it really changed for me is that it's like I no longer see content on this app. Because when the monetization program first came out, you were getting paid for stitches, duets, meaning you were getting paid for stuff you were already doing. Like when we would actually connect with each other. And then it changed to, well, you have to make 1 minute or longer content for it to get monetized. So everybody started shifting their content, even myself. You know, instead of duets and stitches, because you don't get paid for those, you started doing 1 minute or longer content. So I started realizing, I was like, I'm not even making content for myself anymore. I'm now an employee of TikTok. And it did get to my head, because the first paycheck that I got from TikTok was $238. And I was like, shut your whole mouth. You're going to pay me $238 to do some lip syncs and some dances with some people? Hell yeah, sign me up. You know, that wasn't around when I was growing up, right? So I thought it was great, and it was still fun. But then when they changed it to have to be 1 minute or longer, people's content started changing, all right? And I'm not saying it was all bad.